Greetings, my name is Alexander Ely. I'm a 91 Bravo wheel mechanic in the United States Army here at Fort Hood, Texas. Today, I'd like to give you a visual aid speech. And this visual aid speech will be about preventive maintenance, or PM as it's so commonly known as. Many consumers have a warranty on their vehicle. Most of them take it in for service whenever there's an issue. Well, today I'd like to discuss some simple PM that you could do to minimize your time with your dealer. Now, what is PM? It's preventive maintenance. It's everything that you do to prevent a bigger issue from happening. So from smaller things, from checking your tires, checking the fluids in your vehicle, making sure the seatbelt works correctly, checking the gauges, making sure they're working properly as well. Also, checking the air conditioning, making sure the airflow in your car is working properly. All these little things you can do prior to a bigger issue coming forward. Now, let's talk about some equipment that you're going to need prior to conducting preventive maintenance. These are not it's not everything that you're going to need, but some few items that you could use to make your PM easier. One, you want to locate where your owner's manual is. The owner's manual contains a lot of information that will assist you in your preventive maintenance. Take a look in the table of contents. It will then tell you where to do your maintenance schedule, and it also has a list of instrument panel and service and appearance care. It will give you all the necessary information you need. In addition to that, you want to make sure you have some gloves. Here I have some tool handler's gloves, or you can get mechanic's gloves. Gloves will protect your hands from any hot surfaces or any moving parts that you may have. Then you want to get yourself some other gloves, some rubber gloves. Here I have a substitute latex gloves, but this is in place for the rubber gloves when you're handling your battery. Also to protect your skin from any corrosive substances. Next, you want to have a tire gauge. This is very important. Most people can use this to check the PSI, the pounds per square inch on their tire, to make sure that their tire is properly inflated. Next, you want to have some rags. These rags, you can use these to clean your surfaces so you can identify any damage that may be there that you can't see with the surfaces that may be covered in fluids. And also some goggles. When you're going underneath your vehicle, you want to make sure that you have some goggles on to protect your eyes from any falling debris or from any fluids that may be leaking underneath your vehicle. Now, I'd like to talk about some common issues that most motorists have with their vehicles. Most have it with their battery terminals. They have corrosiveness, or the posts have damage on them as well. So I'd like to talk about a simple way that you could clean the battery post in your vehicle. One, you want to get some baking soda, and you want to get a toothbrush or a wire brush. And some water. And make sure that you have gloves and eye protection. Now, once you've gotten these items together, first you want to take the battery out of the car. Then you want to wipe the surface down with a rag. Next, you want to take some baking soda and you want to sprinkle it on top of the battery. After you sprinkle it on top of the battery, on the post, then I want you to take the toothbrushes, dip it in water, and you will brush the top. Then after that, a chemical reaction will happen which will eat away at the corrosiveness on top of the battery post. After that has happened, take your rags, wipe them down, and you are able to install your battery again. Now you've removed the corrosiveness that's on top of it. Next, we want to talk about your wiper blades. Most Americans do not change their wiper blades in more than a year. So you want to make sure you change them every 6 months. Also, flat tire, which is a common issue. Some things to remember when you have a flat tire: make sure safety is number one. Make sure you're on a level surface. Ensure that you've located your tools. Also, make sure if you're on the side of the road that you're far enough off the side of the road that you will not get hit. Also, in addition with the flat tire, make sure you loosen the lug nuts prior to lifting the vehicle off the ground. And then when you finish putting a new tire on the vehicle, you tighten the lug nuts when the vehicle is on the ground. Now, next I'd like to also talk about another issue: dead batteries. Now, when we have to jump start our batteries, A lot of people do not know this, but make sure if you have color-coded cables like these, make sure that the red is for your positive and the black is for your negative. So first you want to make sure you attach the dead battery, the positive on the dead battery, then the positive on the good battery, then the negative on the bad battery, and the negative on the good battery. Let it run for a while, 5 to 10 minutes, and once your vehicle has jumped, make sure you find out what the true issue is. Now I want to talk about some multifunction indicators. Here we have a check engine light, your oil pressure light, and your battery charging light, your ABS light, your low fuel, and the coolant. Most of these indicators come on when there's an issue. Low fuel is just for not having enough fuel, overheating vehicle, no oil pressure, or your anti-lock braking system. Or there may be a bigger issue with the check engine light. Then with the battery, it's the charging system. Now, I'd like to talk about safety for a minute. Make sure you're watching out for fluids, wiping them all up with your rag. Also, when you're under the vehicle, make sure you have eye protection on to protect your eyes. And when dealing with the battery, make sure you're doing it in a safe way and you're wearing gloves. And make sure when you're servicing your battery that you have the vehicle off at that time and you make sure no one else is horseplaying around. Some of my sources I got my information from include cardirect.com, Auto Upkeep, Car Care Maintenance book, and the Dictionary of Military Associated Terms. In conclusion, I'd say make sure you pay attention to your vehicle throughout its lifetime and make sure that you are reading all the steps that's necessary in the maintenance manual to further give you more education on what you should and should not do. This concludes my speech. Thank you.